Aloha. If you can, put your name in the chat, put a comment where you're from. On some of the platforms, I am on desktop, so I can't always see who is in the room with me. Aloha. Aloha, Lauren. Aloha, Joyce. Mel. Sandra. Today, we're going over Money Raising Mastery, which was an event we just held this past weekend. It was a great event where we taught people how to raise money for their real estate deals, for business, how they can get the funds. Because a lot of times we think that you have to start with a lot of money to make money. But if you know how to get the money and then leverage that to then make more, why not? It's totally possible. So I teamed up with another lady in the real estate industry, Amy Majori. She's raised over $60 million. She's been in real estate for, I think, 14 years now. I just started 6 years ago, but I was able to raise $10 million in that time. And we shared all of our secrets, everything we do, everything we knew, our systems, processes, all of that. So we had people in the room raising money on the spot. And so that's why I love live events, is because you get that interaction, but also you get to just nurture relationships, connect with people in a different way. And for me, that's super important, especially when it comes to having people trust you with their money. And there's more people out there with money than you realize, and they might not even realize it because it might be in their retirement or in a savings account or equity in their home. So it all starts with education. And I found throughout the years is that just people don't know what their options are, or if they heard something, they just don't know how their money is protected or what the stipulations are for doing a creative investment. And that's what this is. This is thinking outside the box. So, like I said, I can't see everybody unless you comment or say hi. So put where you're from below so I can see your name, just kind of know what area you're tuning in from. I'm here in Hawaii on Maui. I was just in Honolulu on Oahu where we had our event. And while we wait for a few more people to hop on, I just kind of want to say, gauge the room. Have you guys been to any live events, like in-person events recently? Mena, hey Mena, Marie. Hey Marlo. Marlo just came to our event this past weekend. Did you learn a lot? Learn how to raise money? I always take just little golden nuggets, even though I've been investing for years now. I always have good takeaways and try to implement that into my business right away. Because I don't know about you guys too. Like live events get me super inspired, super hyped. But then when I get home, I don't really have an action plan for what I'm going to do after. So, Marlo, make sure you have an action plan. Make sure you follow through with it. Just put a timeline for yourself, because I know life often gets in the way. And once we learn something that, is very interesting to us, we oftentimes can lose that motivation over time because we're doing our thing. So, make sure you make a game plan for afterwards. I love to see people just out there trying to learn new things too. There was people who came to our event who had no idea about real estate investing, didn't even know um, that there was these different ways to buy real estate or to find money for your business. So there's what we talked about, which I haven't really kind of educated people on, is there's also business funding. There's a lot of funding for businesses, for startups and things like that that you can get that oftentimes we don't utilize, because if you are a single business owner, or you're just starting up your LLC, you might not think like, man, I don't really have credibility as a business to get loans, but there's ways that you can do that and get 50, 100,000, but you also got to be making sure that if you're borrowing money, you're actually using it to make more money. You're not using it as a way to just get into a bunch of debt. So that's where the education is key, and having a path with what you're going to do with the funds really truly matters. So let's see. Oh, yes. Marlo made a plan. 808 Taco Girl. Oh, I like that name. Hey, Jessica. So share this live with someone else who maybe that you guys have been talking about, okay, what else are we going to do? Maybe you're at a job that you don't like. Maybe you are uh at a job you do like, but you're looking for another stream of income. You're looking for cash flow, and right now you're not set. You're not maybe happy with what you're doing now. You're just looking for alternative ways, creative ways. Share this with them, and then like this live too if you guys want to hear more about creative ways to get money and what we talked about our event. I can kind of give you a little breakdown of what we did. And a lot of attendees ended up leaving feeling completely different from when they walked in. Because a lot of times, like day one, we definitely covered the foundations of different ways to get money for your business, get money for real estate. And a lot of people think that you only can get money for, let's say, a property, a house through the bank. Like, oh, well, I won't qualify for a mortgage, or I don't make enough, or I don't have enough years of tax returns. But there are other creative ways that we went over. The number one way being private money. And that's just money from everyday people, money in their savings, retirement. Maybe they have money in a home equity line of credit that they're not using, or a personal line of credit that they're not using. So the only difference of them not investing it in you versus something else is that they just don't know what the option is. And once you're able to educate yourself and really explain what the benefits are, and I'm going to also disclose every investment is a risk, right? There is a huge possibility, even in the stock market, for stocks to plummet and go down. Even in real estate, there's a huge risk in the market just taking a huge shift. So just to be aware of that, but also aware of the upside as well. So whenever you are raising money too, or, bringing on partners to your business, I think transparency is key in what can actually happen in any business. Any business can do really, really well. Any business can shut down and end up in a lot of trouble. So it's in your processes that you set up, it's in your agreements you set up, and it's in the way that you try to be really conservative with what you do invest in. But don't stop yourself from investing in nothing because you're just too scared. So education key. Hey, Jimmy, make sure you guys are all like, you're on this live. So if there's any topic or anything that I touch on or that I talk about, they're like, maybe I should look into that. Then after this, go Google ChatGPT, go, look up some things about that certain type of investment that maybe might bring you to wealth faster than you know. When I was getting into real estate investing, I didn't know anything about it. And I thought it was impossible. I thought you had to have a bunch of money, come from a rich family to buy multiple homes. But once I joined a mentorship, got educated, listened to podcasts, books, just was around a totally different set of people. Like none of my friends, most of my friends even own a home. So they were thinking the same thing I did, like, oh, that's crazy. That's impossible. You can't do that. You have to have a lot of money. But once I got around other circles of people that were actually doing it and were successful, it almost became like you don't think about, oh, how you can't do something. You think of it in a way of like, how can I do this? How can I find a solution? If these people are doing it, how can I do it too? So I think the number one takeaway in anything that you're starting, anything, even if you're struggling in something that you're currently doing, is getting around people that are successful and have found solutions and have that same mind frame of like, okay, let's figure out how we're going to get it done, how we're going to pass through. And even if you're going through challenges right now, like figure out a way, okay, how can I get over this and focus on that? Because I know for one thing, even when I'm not in a good mood, it would totally drag me down too. So make sure you're getting around different people and putting yourself in different rooms that could teach you something, even if you know nothing about it. Like I said, there was people who came this weekend to the event who didn't even know about real estate investing, didn't even really know why they were there. They're just like, oh, there was something I seen that you posted that really resonated with me, and I came here to learn more. So it's funny because there's people in there too who had money or wanted to be the money person to lend to other people to invest it into their deals, into their business, but they're quiet about it, right? They're in the room, they're just kind of looking around, just seeing, building that rapport, just seeing who's taking action. And really that's how you gain the trust of people is there's so just by being yourself, but showing that you're there, you're motivated, and you're taking action. You're like, oh, no, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to get good at this. I'm going to educate myself. And I'm going to follow all the steps in the process so that I will succeed. Like, that's how I got my first private lender. He invested $560,000 into one of the projects that I was doing. I had never raised money before then. But he told me, and I told this story for those who were at the event this weekend, he seen me hustling on Instagram. And all I was doing was just posting me going looking for deals, knocking on doors, calling people, running numbers on deals. I was just posting what I was doing because at that time I had very little experience. So you never know who's watching you, who might want to have money and might want to invest with you. And I can tell you straight on, seeing him in real life, I was like, I had no idea that he had money, that he had, like $500,000 that he wanted to invest. But he was kind of more low key at events, just kind of watching people and seeing what they were doing, how they acted, so that he could kind of get to know people in a more casual way. But what it comes down to as well is that he just really liked that I had morals, integrity, my family values as well. So just because somebody has money and they see, oh, maybe I can make a high return investing with you, that doesn't mean they just give it to you. A lot of times they want to see, like, what are you about? And that's why social media has been huge for me, because you can just get up on here like I am right now and just start talking. And then your videos will get posted, and then, that will help you to build rapport with people with actually not even having to talk to them. So I shared too in this weekend's event how I am naturally an introvert, but once I started posting and got the confidence not to over edit my videos, not to just be so concerned about every single thing that I was saying, and just got used to just putting content out there, posting, that's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, even though I'm an introvert and I get nervous talking around people, I'm basically talking to myself. I mean, you guys are all on here, Mardog, Travel with Malika, Regina, Uwe, Anvi, John, Lauren. you guys are all on here, but I basically I get to talk and say whatever I want, basically, and be myself. So this is one way that you can kind of start putting yourself out there is, and this is a popular term now, they call it yapping, has become very popular. But especially on lives, you can just kind of ramble on about your thoughts, what you went through, and different topics that hopefully people find valuable. But definitely, I would say getting into different rooms, learning different things, even if you have no idea what it's about, but the people in those rooms matter just as much. So, conversations that come from those sessions could be lead to unexpected opportunities, a chance to work together, a chance to connect them to someone, a chance to make money together. Honestly, I mean, there's a reason why you're going to these events. There's a reason why you're on here. There's a reason why you're like, okay, wait, I gotta figure out another way to make some money, make some. You don't have a extra income, maybe buy a house for my kids. Like, how can I do that? So I think your environment definitely and your network can create these opportunities that you never thought were possible, or maybe you never thought that it could happen for you. So I think too, because I was hosting the event, it's just really great to see newer people come in, or even experienced people come in and have like even just one takeaway that could change their business. And seeing a year later, we had an attendee who, when she first attended our event last year, because we did it last year, we did it this year, we may do it again next year. I'm not really sure. But in 1 year, she raised $900,000 for her project so far, going from zero. And she was very hesitant because she was like, "Oh, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know what to say. I don't know the contracts. Like, how do I get them to invest with me?" And what a lot of people don't realize is just nurturing. It's over time, people will get to trust you. And so what does that take? That takes showing up for them. That takes adding value. A lot of people say like, "Oh, you do social media. Must make so much money from social media." I actually don't. I don't make money directly from Facebook, from TikTok, whatever, maybe $1. I don't even know. But that's not why I put myself out there. The reason why is to educate people on how they can invest. And so when I first started investing in real estate, I wanted to raise money. And this is what was successful for me was coming online, posting videos, doing lives, and connecting with people to see what their goals were. And once I got that far, if they had money to invest, then we would hop on a call, see if it was good fit, and then they would invest in my projects. So I think there's so many different ways to make money, but I think it takes us growing and learning to get started in another avenue. And there's really power in community, in forming relationships. And even online, after you've maybe connected with people, takes it to a whole nother level when you meet them in person, right? Because then it becomes real and people are more open and share their own stories, their own experiences. And then you get to have the experience of that weekend together. Like then you'll be always connected. You'll have something to talk about. You'll have something in common that maybe other people won't have in common with you. So it's really just an encouraging space to talk about money, talk about investing. And that's what these Tuesday basically lives are, is to provide a safe space for you to just share any question, share any insights, and maybe just to even just come on and listen to somebody local who didn't come from money, who's raised $10 million, who has invested on multiple properties, but it's just talking story, you know? So I think that's the sense of community that we now can share online. And so, with that, if you do have any questions, put it in the chat below, or you have anything that you want to share, anything that you're going through that you need help with, or you don't know where to start. There's so many different topics I could go over, but the main thing is that action beats information majority of the time. So I am very proud of those people who showed up this weekend who didn't really know anything. And they're like, I'm here. I don't know really know why. And I'm ready to learn. Like I just want to learn. So just put those, small actions do create a lot of momentum for people. I know it did for me too when I was brand new to investing. I had no idea. A lot of the terminology I didn't understand, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep showing up, keep learning, and eventually it'll all click because once you start seeing results, then it becomes real. And the real progress starts after events. After you get all hyped, after you're all motivated from a meetup, maybe even connecting with someone, it's like, okay, now what do you do next? Make sure there's follow-up. Make sure you are following up with the other people that are in the room. Make sure whatever you wrote down in your notebook from the event, from the weekend, you're going back to that and being like, okay, these are the important things that I wrote down. Let me dive deeper into those things and then make an action plan. So I think, you know, what's one thing that you guys have been putting off? Savannah, Sol, Lehua, Bowles, Cali guy from California, Chris, Vanessa. What's one thing that you've been putting off that you need help with? Hey, Brian, Zaha. Oh, I like that name. Hey, Alex. I got my water. Hey, Scott, Bella. Hey, Blair. Savannah. So, to everyone who spent the weekend with us, thank you. You invested in yourself. And I truly believe, I mean, you are the best investment. And for those who are brand new to investing or just tuning in, just trying to see what this is about, the best way is to just get in those new rooms, get in those new circles. And for the most part, a lot of people know that there is a different way, there is a path that they should be taking. And one day, if you're not ready now, it will click, but just keep tuning in, keep listening, keep getting educated. But truly, live events are the best way to put yourself out there and also just help you overcome some of the fears that you may have and make it make your next steps or your goals become a reality, because a lot of times we set things on paper. We say, oh, I want to do this by the end of the year. And then life gets in the way. Things start happening. Maybe we go through challenges and it no longer is a priority. So get back on it. Put that as a priority. Regina says we need to take that first step. We learned so much and we keep learning. It's exciting. Awesome. Yes, Regina came to the event this weekend as well. And like I said, you don't have to know everything, but just building relationships, especially connections with other people in those rooms, just knowing like, oh man, I'm not alone. Because a lot of times when you're learning things, especially when it comes to the online space, and you know that this is something like, okay, I need to do this. I just don't know how, or I don't know what's the best step for me. That's why you just keep showing up, because who knows, one little takeaway or one story that someone says, or if someone's sharing about their life and you're like, wait, that's me. Maybe I should do that too. Then that will be the light bulb moment that you need to move forward. And I mean, to be honest, we're all here to build wealth. We're all here to, just kind of see what our options are and see if there's a better way, not necessarily better, but a way that we could be living life that has more of a greater positive impact on ourselves, on our families, and our communities. And so I think from moving forward now, I mean, the rest of the year is going to fly by. Kids are going back to school next week. So just know once they do, no more excuses on not enough time. We got to make time for the things that we deem important. So just going back to your goals, reevaluating, okay, what do we want to do next and how can we get there? Or not only how, who can you connect with to help you get to that next level or that next step in your wealth building journey? Really focus on that. And so make sure you don't miss out on something just because you think, man, like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. You are. Don't let self-doubt or fear hold you back from achieving your dreams, achieving your goals. And I know it sounds kind of cliche, but for a long time, I stayed at my job because it felt safe. It felt secure. And that's why I went to college. But at the end of the day, I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. I didn't feel fulfilled. And I was still in a lot of debt somehow. So the only person that can change that is you. So thank you guys for showing up to this live today. I appreciate it. And get in the right rooms, get in different rooms, get around different people. That's I'm going to leave you with anything. That's what I would say, what is going to help you break out of whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is you're looking for, is get around different people that are building wealth, the right people, the good people. So with that, um, thank you guys for joining this live. Hit the like button, send some hearts. Whoop, whoop. And share this with someone who's been wanting to get into real estate, wanting to get into investing, and maybe just hasn't found the right community, the right person that they connect with. I am I came from nothing, $0. And now, I have a $5 million real estate portfolio. I own RV parks, office buildings with partners, apartment buildings. I teach other people, other regular people like me. You don't have to want luxurious things, drive nice cars. You can still stay true to who you are and have multiple streams of income, build wealth, help your family, help your community, and just keep making a positive impact. So it is possible for you. So if you're in a place where you know that you could be doing more, or there's something more out there for you that will be more fulfilling, just know that there is and you can do it. But it takes you getting educated and learning what's out there and then taking that first step. And it's going to be scary, but I promise you, we don't want to live with any regrets. So Take care, you guys. Have a great, productive week. Follow me here on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Every week, I share practical strategies on real estate investing, on raising money, on business, investing, helping your kids too, building long-term wealth, all of that, and doing it with aloha. So take care. Ahui ho. Bye.